I'll purchase at maybe 100% or 95% or 90% of, your asking price. But I'm going to want some kind of back end incentive, right? So that money needs to come back to me somewhere. Like I need 6 months mortgage free, a year mortgage free. Like I need something somewhere to incentivize me to give you this top dollar cost. Tell them I'm a ready, willing, and able buyer, but it has to make sense for me. Secondly, what I would encourage you to look at is what are the market rental comps. So like how much could you rent that other unit out for? If you were to move out yourself, how much could you rent both units out for? And then I would find out what your net operating income is for the year, right? After all expenses. And then I would see what kind of ROI I would be making, what kind of cap rate if I were to rent both out. So now maybe you're not buying for the equity, but you're buying because it's new, it's brand new, you get top dollar rents. Maybe with top dollar rents after expenses, the separate utilities, I'm sure. And after expenses, now you're making, whatever, 10 grand a year or whatever it is in a, 9, 10, 11, 12% cap rate or something. Then it might make a little more sense. And then you worry about the appreciation and equity later. But somewhere the numbers got to add up in your favor.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
All right, thanks. I appreciate that.
No problem, Ken. All right, great. Look forward to hearing from you. All right, and so before we go to our next student, King just reminded me of something when he talked about his company, Cash Out Real Estate Investments. And one thing I want to encourage you all is take pride in the fact that you all are now business owners or becoming business owners and entrepreneurs. That's a really important thing. There's many, many millions of people in America that have never, ever owned their own company. Millions that die not owning their own company, never being an entrepreneur, always working for someone else. And so the reason why I'm telling you to do that is not out of pride. It's not just out of boasting, but for marketing and for positioning and for accomplishing what I repeat a million times a week, which is our goal and your goal as a JMA protege, is to be the go-to person within your sphere of influence in real estate. Meaning that when anyone thinks about real estate investing, home ownership, using the bank's money, anything real estate, distressed properties, probates, foreclosures, short sales, they should be thinking about you. Cash Out Real Estate Investment or whatever your company's called. They should be thinking about you. And so one way if you guys can do that is as you form your companies, you get your business cards, you get your websites, which is all called legitimizing your company, right? You're building your foundation and you're legitimizing your company, legitimizing your business. And you are promoting your brand. But now as you do that, think about doing, even if it's a small, intimate family thing, even if it's something at a local library or school or wherever, think about doing like a launch party for your company. Like a launch networking event or a launch workshop or a launch lecture where you invite people to come out to get real estate, home ownership, investing, or whatever answers questions or advice from you, or just to see about what your company does and will be doing. Because that positions you as a go-to person with your sphere of influence. The more, I'm telling y'all, the cheat code, the up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. It's a cheat code. The more that you stamp and implement yourself, right? Like what I say is knowledge plus credibility equals influence. Your goal is to create as much influence as possible so that you get as much business as possible. So the more you're knowledgeable, which is why you're here at JMA, learning more than the rest of the world, but the more you're credible is going to be the more influence you get. And the way you become credible is through your branding, your marketing, and doing it consistently. Like people always seeing from you, hearing from you, your social media, your YouTube channel, your Facebook, your Instagram, people always seeing that you're about your business and what your business is and what it does and how it can be of service to them. So I'm telling you, y'all take that and go ham with it. I'm talking about business cards in the elevator to anonymous people. I'm talking about in a coffee shop, asking people what they do, going to networking events. I'm talking about everything you could think of. I used to put business cards and random books in the library, like anything. Just be crazy with it because you're only one deal away. You got to plant seeds and you got to continue to grow your network, your credibility, and your knowledge base so that you could be that go-to person within your sphere of influence. So I just wanted to give you all that quick little lecture, if you want to call it that, or a bit of advice. So we'll go to our next student, though.
Good evening, King.
Good evening, King. Peace. How are you?
I'm blessed. It's the Quan Vandross calling from New York. Good to hear from you, Vinjet.
You too, King. You too. I'll be in New York next week.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. What borough will you be in?
We're going to be in the Bronx. We may do a second one in Harlem or Brooklyn, but right now the event, the corner class event is scheduled for the Bronx. I think our credit to cash workshop is somewhere else. I don't have that location on hand.
All right. So one of my questions are, say for example, right? One of my questions was, like, we've been seeing a lot of boarded up houses, and I'm trying to figure out, like, where exactly do I gotta go to figure out who owns those boarded, or how do I, like, receive those boarded houses? I remember somebody was saying go to the tax clerk account.
Yes.
The tax office to figure out, like, and then find the owner and then mail them. And like, I've been trying to do that, and like, that hasn't been, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out.
Well, a lot of times, these owners are absent. I think there's a Skip Trace is another website you can go to called Skip Trace, where you can find owners' information. All you guys can use that. But a lot of times, it's called Skip Trace.
SkipTrace.com?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
All right.
If you look it up, you'll see it. But a lot of times these owners are under companies, or they're deceased, or they're through family, or they're just going in a wind. So a lot of times it is hard to find the owners of these properties. But it's important to keep making a list and a database of the properties you're looking at and doing constant follow-ups. Because one day the owner or a relative may pop around, or the city ends up taking it over, and you want to be in line when that happens to, be in position.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Well, my last question was on, say me and my boy trying to go in or something. Say like we got decent amount of capital. I got 100, he got 100.
Right.
And we're trying to buy like a building or something.
Gotcha.
But we don't have the pay stubs to back that up. What's my way around that, or you know what I mean? How do we go about doing something?
Gotcha. That's a one-on-one coaching question. So there you go. So holler at me next week.
All right, King. I'll see you in New York today. Take it easy.
All right, peace. We go to our next student.
Good evening, King Jay. This is Nelson from Texas.
Peace, Nelson. How you doing, King?
Great. Question is there any liability for changing the type of funding after the purchase agreement has been, after the offer has been accepted?
Meaning you going from conventional to hard money or whatever?
Putting down conventional 97, but then ordering an FHA appraisal and then going to FHA because it's a lower down payment. The goal of leading in with conventional is because we're thinking the seller may be likely to accept that because they tend to shy away from FHA.
Right.
Inspectors.
Well, it honestly depends on how your contract is written up. That's that's really where the liability is. If some contracts read with ORs, right, like and ORs and financing, so you can finance it however, whether it be cash, conventional, whatever. If it's stipulated in your contract where you said it had to be just kind of one way, that could give the seller an opportunity to back out if they so chose. As long as there were no hiccups, though, and you were doing it FHA or whatever other kind of way, they're going to cash the money just the same. Whether the money come from a FHA loan or private loan or cashier's check, it's all green money. But it just depends on how your contract is written, to be honest with you.
Okay. Second question, how do I take advantage or be a part of the 360 rental program? I have deals that are in the pipe, and I've sent them to J Rep.
Okay.
The email address.
Yep.
What do you advise?
Gotcha. So you want to try to finance them through the 360 program?
Yes.
All right. So let me give you a better email for that, because as we're moving into Tulsa, we're phasing out some of the JM Rep stuff. So if you will reach out to, send it to Kevin for me, right? Kevin, Kevin, at Tulsa, TULSA, realestatefund.com, and just quickly reference, mention my name in the subject line or something, referred by Jay, and just mention that you want some info on the 360 program, and I'll text Kevin and let him know that, something will be coming over from you.
Okay, Kevin at TulsaRealEstateFund.com.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, King.
All right, no problem, King. Have a great night. All right, we'll go to our next student.
Hello, King.
Peace, Queen. How are you?
This is beautiful comeback queen. My first name is Nisha.
All right.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, by my brand, I'm coming back. So I live in Los Angeles, but my goal is to build from Atlanta and Ohio. Do you arm us with or does this course arm us with the ability to do that building outside of Los Angeles first?
Yes. Everything that we teach can be used remotely or virtually. The key is, in leveling expectations, is that you have to be able to build a strong team, especially a strong project manager or property manager or somebody to be your go-to, your eyes and ears in those other cities or states. That's the challenge. But everything that we teach can be used in all those states. It can be facilitated through other people. It's just that who can you trust, who can you go to or through, and who's going to be reliable in Ohio or in Atlanta to be your eyes and ears, to oversee your contractors, to help you find realtors, to help you find appraisers, to get your attorneys. I mean, you can do a lot of those things online or over the phone, but then somebody still has to be your eyes and ears and your boots on the ground in those cities.
Okay, so when I say that the resources, like, will we have any internal resources in those cities?
We don't have like a vendor list at this point, right, within those cities.
Okay.
The good part about here in Atlanta is that we are active in Atlanta, so there are ways that the Tulsa Fund team, and we have plenty of JMA students here, and even in Ohio as well. So I think through your student base, you probably can connect and network with someone through the Facebook page, or through Instagram or social media, etc. If you want to, if you want to leave your email on this call, if you want to say your email or something like that, or contact info, you could have maybe someone in a certain part of Ohio, if there's a certain city you're targeting, or Atlanta, reach out to you. You can use this call also as a sounding board to see if anyone is willing to collaborate with you.
Okay. My last question is, this is just an internal question. I need to move my, I've been calling customer service, and I need to actually move my date that my class is released to Monday, because that was the initial date that I started, and it hasn't been able to get fixed yet. So who can I turn to that can get that done?
Gotcha. So you can email support at jmorrisonacademy.com. So I would do that.
One more time, I didn't hear you.
Support, SUPPORT. Support at jmorrisonacademy.com.
Yes.
Okay, and as a follow-up, okay, so they'll be getting to you. How long ago did you email them?
4 or 5 weeks straight.
And no one's reached back out to you, you're saying?
They haven't been able to fix it. I don't want to put names, but they haven't been able to.
I mean, it may be hard to move the course to a specific date because it's all automated. So
right. That's my issue, King. I opened up on a Monday, and I'm getting stuff on a Tuesday instead of the Monday that I opened up on.
All right, let me
and I need that Monday for sitting purposes because I take care of an elderly person.
Gotcha.
My time on Tuesday. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Queen, send me your you want to tell me your email, your name and email, and I could have somebody look into it a little more thoroughly. RED. MINK.
Okay. At yahoo.com.
All right. And that's the email.